There's a storm that doesn't thunder, a shadow that doesn't need darkness. It lives quietly, inside your mind. It whispers, doubts, fears, regrets, all dressed as truth. That storm is negative thinking. Most people don't notice when it starts. It creeps in silently, one thought at a time. And before you know it, the light inside you starts to dim. Let me tell you a story. There was once a man named Aarav. From the outside, he had everything: a stable job, a loving family, and dreams that once burned bright. But inside, he carried a storm. Every morning he looked in the mirror and saw not what he could be, but what he wasn't. He saw failure in his reflection even when others saw potential. He called it being realistic. But in truth, he was feeding the monster of negative thought. One rejection at work became a prophecy. One mistake became a definition. And soon, every opportunity had felt like a trap waiting to prove him wrong. He started saying things like, "I'm not good enough. People always have it better than me. What's the point of trying?" And slowly, those thoughts built a cage, not one made of steel, but of belief. He stopped applying for new positions. He stopped speaking up in meetings. He stopped dreaming, not because the world was cruel, but because he believed it was. That's the strange thing about negative thinking. It convinces you that you're protecting yourself from pain, when really, you're protecting yourself from growth. Days turned into months. Aarav's world shrank. His smile faded. And one night, sitting alone in his small apartment, he whispered something to himself that shattered the silence. Maybe this is all I'll ever be. But fate has a strange way of testing our hearts. The next morning, as he walked to work, Aarav saw an old man sitting on a park bench feeding the pigeons. The man looked peaceful, content, even joyful. Aarav, lost in thought, couldn't help but ask, "How do you stay so happy all the time?" The old man smiled. "I wasn't always," he said. "I used to think the world was against me, until I realized it was me against myself." Aarav frowned. "What do you mean?" The man leaned closer. "Son, your mind is like a garden. If you water weeds, don't expect flowers." That simple sentence stayed with Aarav all day. It echoed louder than his doubts. For the first time, he realized his negative thoughts weren't facts. They were choices. That night, he made a decision, a small one, but powerful. He decided to write down one good thing about his day, just one. At first, it felt pointless, but soon, something shifted. A week later, his journal was filled with moments, a kind word from a stranger, a sunset he noticed for the first time in months, a small project at work that went right. Little by little, light found its way back. He started replacing his thoughts. "I'm not good enough," became "I'm learning." "I always fail," became "I can try again." "What's the point?" became "This is my chance." And just like that, his world began to change. See, the bad effect of negative thinking isn't just sadness. It's blindness. It blinds you to opportunities, to beauty, to your own worth. It poisons your relationships. It convinces you that love is pity, that effort is useless, that success belongs to others. Rains the color from your life until all that's left is gray. But the truth is, you were never broken. You just believed the wrong story. Negative thinking is not reality. It's a habit that can be unlearned with awareness, gratitude, and courage. Think about it. Every invention, every success, every miracle began with a single positive thought. "I can do this. I will try. I believe." Imagine if those people had said, "It's impossible." Where would we be? The world doesn't need more negativity. It needs minds that dare to believe again. Because every time you choose faith over fear, every time you choose gratitude over complaint, you rewrite your destiny. Aarav learned that slowly. His life didn't change overnight, but he did. And when he did, everything followed. He found new work, new energy, new hope. But most importantly, he found peace. Because peace doesn't come when everything's perfect. It comes when your mind is finally quiet. So, if you're listening to this right now, and you've been trapped in your own negative thoughts, let this be your reminder. You are not your failures. You are not your past. You are not your mistakes. You are the thinker behind the thought, and that means you can choose differently. The bad effects of negative thinking aren't just mental. They ripple through your health, your relationships, your future. They rob you of the life you could have lived. But the good news? The storm can always clear. All it takes is one thought, a single spark of belief, to light up the entire night sky. So tonight, when your mind starts whispering that you can't, answer it softly. Watch me. Because life doesn't change when the world becomes easier. It changes when you stop being your own enemy. And when that happens, the same mind that once held you prisoner will set you free. Remember, your thoughts build your tomorrow, so make them worth living for.